Welcome to this podcast, Married to His Will. I am Suzette Williams, your host. If this is your first time, I am so excited to welcome you to this podcast. I'm so excited that you've taken the time to listen or watch. This podcast is for inspiration and enjoyment. I also take pleasure in providing a bit of clinical information here as well, since I'm a licensed professional counselor in the state of Georgia and nationally certified. Please catch up on previous episodes where I share my testimony, especially that first episode of season 1. I want to remind you that God can deliver you out of that problem you face. He's not only interested in saving you from hell, but He cares that you thrive in Him. I'm excited about this journey and for all those who have joined me along the way, and for those who will join me next. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you find this content enjoyable or inspiring in any way. Please read the description area for any other information that may not be stated in the video or corrections that are made. Since my divorce, I have found a new appreciation for who I am and who I'm becoming in Christ. To my future hubby, if you're listening out there, may you find me where God has positioned me to be in His presence. I am so happy He is always there, and I plan to stay married to His will. Enjoy this next episode. Welcome to this episode of Married to His Will. Oh my God, it's the last day of Women's Month. I get to celebrate women on this podcast, but I can do this at any time. You know, women are amazing. I am a woman, obviously, and it's amazing to have been able to celebrate Women's Month with the guests I've had so far. And today I have a very special guest, and she has been with us a few times before, so I'm very excited to introduce her to you again. She is my best friend and womb buddy. She is my twin sister, and we call her Suzan, Dr. Suzan Thompson, and she is the co-pastor at Deeper Church, where I attend as the worship pastor, and I'm excited to have her with me today as we wrap up this Women's Month, or our celebration of Women's Month. I'm excited because we're going to talk about our health and our journey to 43 as we are looking forward to celebrate our 43rd birthday in April, and we're on a health journey together. So I hope that you will help me welcome her today. I also want to celebrate those of you who have subscribed to my podcast, all 200 and plus people who have subscribed to my YouTube channel. You really didn't have to subscribe, and so I'm very, very grateful. I realize I haven't stopped to celebrate the accomplishments I've had since I started this podcast about a year ago. And so I'm so excited to have you, be a part of this journey with me. For those who even have subscribed to other outlets, media outlets that wherever you listen to your podcast, I'm very thankful, very grateful for you. Thank you for listening to this voice. I hope that my testimonies over time inspires you, encourages you, and those who have joined me along the way, I hope their testimonies have also inspired you. And I hope you continue to ride with me, right? And see the journey as it unfolds. There's so much that I'm looking forward to. I believe that this 7th season is going to bring about even more changes in my life. And I can't wait for you to see as God does what He does in my life. If you're interested in making your voice heard and there's a story you have to share and you feel like you'd like to be a part of this podcast, please go ahead and email me at suzettedblount@gmail.com. And I typically put that in the description area so that you can contact me. And I'm also available for those who are in need of counseling as well. As you know, I have my own private practice and I run it online and I see clients. I do get filled up, but typically there is some room for you. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me if needed. Okay, with that said, we are going to move forward and I'm excited to have this conversation today. Help me welcome my sister, my twin sister, Dr. Suzan Thompson. Listen and enjoy.
So funny.
I'm ready. Ooh, I'm so happy to have you back.
I'm happy to be back. Women's History Month.
My pretty sister, she's definitely pretty because I am too. So,
It's so silly. Yes,
we're twins.
indeed.
So, welcome back. I'm definitely excited because this is my last Women's History episode, or Women's.
Yeah.
This is my episode celebrating women since it's been Women's Month. And so I'm excited to have you on this last episode for that. But this is the 7th season of my podcast. I don't even know what episode I'm on. I usually know when I'm ready to upload it. But I know it's probably over 40 episodes, so I'm excited.
That's
that we're
awesome.
at this.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you, sis. Yes, it's been a journey. And you've certainly been a big supporter watching me go through this journey
Yeah.
of doing this podcast. You know what? I'm going to have you share, your thoughts about it since you've been on the journey with me. You saw me start from the beginning and here I am now. So just a little bit of tidbit. I was thanking the people for subscribing because now I'm up to over 200 people on
That's so
YouTube.
good.
So I'm like, wow, I haven't taken the time to really stop and celebrate. So now that you're here, I think we can celebrate together. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that.
So my thoughts on just watching you from day one.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this has been a great, I would say, first of all, it's been a great outlet for you, considering everything you've been through. I think you kind of went through the process while doing this, and I think it's helped to strengthen you, and not just strengthen you, but help others who are possibly going through the same thing. So it's been really beautiful to watch, the different phases and seasons. So as your podcast seasons came about, I've seen your seasons come about, and I see you flourishing. I see you growing just as the podcast has been growing. And I see you coming out just like a butterfly. You start out with this idea, this idea that was crawling like a caterpillar. And then, you morphed into this cocoon, where you were being strengthened in the dark, where everything was being made in the dark. And there were some episodes where you were crying and, where you shared your heart about how challenging things were. And of course, being behind the scenes, I know how tough it's really been because, of course, your audience, they don't get to see everything. But being along the journey with you, Ron and I, we've been able to see the dark parts and how you, even in those moments, allowed the light of God to be your guide. And you weren't overtaken by the darkness, but you allowed the light to guide you. So now you're coming out of that tunnel. You came out of that cocoon, girl, and now you're soaring like a butterfly. You might be still like at the last part of the tunnel, like the opening, and you're about to burst out. Like maybe a part of the wing is out, or part of the antenna is out, whatever. But you're definitely bursting out, and it's really beautiful to watch. There's still so much more. There's still so much more. I can't wait to see you soaring even more, even higher. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. That was so well said. Just how you use the butterfly, that metaphor. Thank you so much, because it's certainly been a metamorphosis for sure. I'm going through so many transformations.
Yeah, we all are. We all are. We all have our different things that we're challenged with. But you're definitely doing it well, and you've been relying on your community, not staying isolated, because it could have been easy for you to just isolate yourself, which we tend to do when we're going through something. But that community makes it better.
Yeah, there are times I wanted to kind of run away and be in a place by myself, not even care about anybody. But that was just how overwhelming those emotions were. But
yeah.
Out of the woods. Thank you, Jesus.
Yay. I'm happy to see that.
Yeah. So the last time I had anyone from your household, I spoke to your husband, which I was so happy at that time to have my first male guest. And I mean, I really
Yeah, that
want to
was
see some.
awesome. You'll
I,
get, you'll have more.
yes, maybe my husband is out there listening.
You never, hey, their future hubby, not a husband, their future
I
hubby, I
mean,
mean,
my
their
future
future,
husband might be out there listening, and who knows, he might be the next male or the one that's down the road. But yeah, I love my women that do come on
yeah.
here, share their stories with me, and you're definitely the most amazing supporter and one who's always been by my side, as I've done this journey. So I want to hear more from you about, how things have been going with Deeper Church. Um, yeah, I mean, the last time we spoke about Deeper Church on this platform, I think we hadn't launched yet. But after the launch, I spoke to, Ro, your
Yeah.
husband. So you get to tell us a little bit about how the journey has been for you so far, being the co-pastor and the leading lady of the house. I mean, you are in this woman, capacity, and so they may see you differently, right? And so, how have you been able to navigate just being the leading woman in the house as well as pastor, wearing that hat? And, the challenges and just the beauty of it.
So the beauty about it is that Ron and I went through a process before we got to this point. So
Mhm.
what people are seeing now is what started off, just like you went through your process. It started off in the background of building, Ron and I getting to learn and prepare ourselves for this. And
Yeah.
throughout that process, I had people speaking into me. Um, I had people who just were empowering, just encouraging, and even as it concerns my role in the capacity of pastor, but it's the nuance of also being a female in that role comes with some challenges that can plague the mind, that can, that could allow me to just stop in my tracks and say, I'm not going to do this because it's too much to navigate, too much to maneuver, too many people who don't really acknowledge women in this role or, whatever that is. But
Yeah.
I go back to words that have been spoken. I go back to the word of God and allow that to help me as I navigate this new role of pastoring. And it's new in the sense that everyone else know about it. Everyone else knows about it. But it's not new in the sense that, well, God had already placed this calling on my life. So I take comfort in knowing that God has my back. My husband has my back. Most of all, my husband's with me, so I'm not by myself. And also
Yeah.
humbling myself under the word of God. Not trying to fight battles that I don't need to fight. That enables me to further understand my role and also lead well. I don't have to rely on my own understanding, rely necessarily on my own skill set because now I get to pour into others and help them in their abilities, help them to grow in the area where God might be calling them. I get to speak into them and they get to work along with me. So it's not just me. I think that makes a huge difference when we realize that we don't have to carry things alone. As females, we're carriers. We sometimes we feel like we have to go alone. But
Yeah.
like you, I was mentioning community earlier. I'm not in isolation. So
Yeah.
what makes this role even more special for me is realizing that I don't have to do it by myself. That I have other women who are there to undergird and and be under shepherds too. You know. So while I pour
Yeah.
in, they're pouring into others, and it's still brand new, it's still so fresh. So all I can do is trust the Lord every step of the way. You know,
Amen.
yeah,
I love what you said about, the fact that you weren't just called into this role because your husband is in the role, but God has spoken this over your life way before that. So you can
hmm,
stand confident in that he put you in position and no one can take away what God gave you.
exactly.
That's powerful, and that's encouraging to someone who's questioning. Maybe they feel like they're always in the background of their husband, or not being recognized for the value for where they are in their role. But they just
Exactly.
have to be steadfast and know who put them there.
Exactly. That's well said. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's so good. So the last time he also talked about how miraculous the journey has been too, just how God has been providing for Deeper Church, and it's just been blowing our minds. Even for me to see my team growing, like people are coming on board, like
Yeah,
everything we ask for, God is really providing. Speak to that a little
absolutely.
bit.
I mean, someone actually just asked me that yesterday. I met up with a friend of mine just to get something from her, and she was asking me how things are going. And the only thing I could say is that, well, God continues to blow our minds. He
Yeah.
is in the details. So Ro mentioned the last time when you interviewed him about how, God opened up the door for us to now be in our own space. We had been sharing space, and then in the matter of 2 weeks, we heard that the church that we were sharing space with, that actually were the lease, who were leasing the property, they decided that they were going to close their doors. And by the third week, we were in that place by ourselves. And, we don't like to, we don't, rejoice over the ending of that entity. But also,
Right.
we do rejoice knowing that God would use them, right, in such a manner that they could bless us. And
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
yes, so we don't dwell on that one church closed, but God
Yeah.
made the way for Deeper Church to take that space and now be a beacon in that community, whereas
Yeah.
that church could no longer be that. So I mean,
Yeah.
just the way it happened, week 3, we were in our own space, and then um, God would have it that a financial door open that, we could, where we had a sponsor who we would have been getting their funding maybe much later on. But hearing the news that we were in our new space, they decided to start with the funding a little bit earlier and added more to that. So glory be to God that that came in. We could always use more funding, but listen, we praise God for every drop that we've
Yeah.
received.
Praise.
I mean, it could have been zero. It could have been
Yeah.
zero, but God has really blessed us, not just with a space, but with some funding to help us to pay for rent, and to also do what we need to do in the community, because we're big on giving back to the community and to those
Yes.
who are serving with us.
Yeah.
There's so much that we want to do. So I also want to tell a story about. So we have this text in church that we use to communicate with our congregation and to guests who come in, and they have various packages. And we started off more on the lower end, or whatever that would be. And we were just talking in our leadership meeting, which you were part of that meeting. Ron and I were sharing I was sharing with the team how, man, I want us to increase our texting so that we can reach more of our congregation, increase our communication. And
Yeah.
it so happens that one of the members, we have 3 different lines on that text in church. And one of the lines had the name, one of our leaders, Marquise, right? I'll just say his first name for now, Marquise.
Yeah.
And he was one of the members in that package. And so one day we were trying to send out text messages, and we realized, well, nothing is going through. It's saying that we had actually canceled the account or something, right? They said the account is closed, and we're like, what's going on? So Ro called, or he emailed tech support to find out what's going on. They said Marquise called in to cancel the account. So we're like, well, Marquis, he's on the account, but he doesn't have administrative privileges, so we don't understand
Right.
how that happened. So they said they were going to check it, they were going to look into it to try to figure out, what happened. Then
Yeah.
later on, they emailed back to say, it was a human error. Apparently, someone else who owns an account by the same name, the same exact first and last name as Marquise, had
Yeah.
canceled the account, but they canceled the wrong account.
Oh my
And
God.
yeah, and so to fix the error, they were going to give us more text messages for a whole year. They're going to give us a higher package, exactly what we needed.
Wow.
I'm telling you. So even in that small thing, we're seeing how God is in the
It,
details. You know, He did say to us that He was going to give us what we haven't even asked for. Okay,
oh my,
we can be having a conversation and God is listening. We never really like in our hearts prayed about it, but
yeah.
God, He saw the need, you know, and so just in that, we thank Him for every little thing, whether
Wow.
it's a text in church, whatever it is. We thank Him for
Yeah.
His provision because we're seeing how He is providing every step of the way. I mean, I tell
And
you, like, I don't know if you were saying something.
I was saying, and everything adds up, so I understand
Yeah.
just having that belief, and you got what you had small in our conversation. God is even hearing our conversation.
Station, exactly.
You brought it up. Oh, we need this, and here, just not
Mhm.
not even the week didn't even end before that result. I'm
Exactly.
like,
The week did not. I
wow,
think it was like a day later because I think in that same meeting we were seeing the error messages for the
yes,
text account.
I remember.
We're like, what's going on? Nothing is our text account isn't working or whatever. And I think it's the day after that we got extra text messages.
That's amazing. I was blown away by that small detail. How God
Yeah,
in a human error and administrative could cause an administrative error, and here you get to have a whole year of free text messages more than what you had before.
I mean, so we can't even wrap our minds around what God is doing. It's
Yeah,
just hard to even describe. And because of how rapidly God is working, we can't even stop to take any kind of credit. Like it's just so mind blowing. Like we're wow, you know? We're just like, God, this only you could do this for us. Only you,
yeah,
and
and
so we're just marveling in it.
I hear you. And even the testimony, even when we talk about, we're not like excited about another entity closing, but it
Yeah.
reminded me of my divorce, how I felt, right? Like, even though I was going through a divorce, I'm like, wow, God, you have something that's right for me. Because
Yeah,
those are
absolutely.
I could not become who I was supposed to become. And you close that door so another door
Mhm.
can open for whatever opportunity God has for me. And as I see
Yeah.
deeper, God is taking deeper where it's going, like He's just carrying deeper. I feel like it allows me to trust Him even more because I feel like my walk is kind of parallel as I see how He provides for deeper. He provides for me, and He's just blessing me. He's blessing me and my household, and He's
Yes.
showing me that I don't have to worry about the details. I don't have to fight. I don't have to pursue anyone. I don't have to do anything. I just have to watch God work through me. I just have to focus
Absolutely.
on Him. Give Him the glory
Mhm.
because He deserves the glory. Like you said, He deserves the glory. We cannot take any
Yeah.
credit.
Absolutely, and it's making me think, how it's Easter season and we're reflecting on Christ, his death, his burial, and resurrection, and how
Yes.
something has to die. A lot of times, something has to die for something else to flourish. You know,
Yes.
there's a principle in that, and so while we don't rejoice in another church, them dissolving, they made that choice for something they thought was greater.
Yes.
Okay, they did it out of the goodness of their hearts, They're like, well, this church is about to do something great. They saw what God was doing. So sometimes it's
Yes.
a matter that, one thing has to close before another opens.
Oh
And
my
so
God.
just like Jesus had to die so that we can have life, and I kind of see it that way. It's like this principle. And so I
Amen.
rejoice in it. I really do. I really
Wow.
do. Yeah.
And as you talk about something dying, we are having to die to our flesh because I brought Suzanne on here because We are also on a health journey, guys. We talked about health. Yeah, 2 episodes ago, I brought my friend Elizabeth on here. We talked about health, and the last episode was about being single and all that. But this episode, we're back to that because it's one of the areas that women struggle, especially women over 40,
Tell me
right?
about it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's not as easy to lose the weight as we would like. So we have to be more intentional about what we eat and just putting
Mm-hmm.
that workout in. So here we are on a new journey, and I wish I brought my T-shirt here because we're on this journey with a program or organization called Run for God.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, Run for God,
Oh, for God. Yes.
nonprofit. And so Suzanne, I think Suzanne was the one who introduced me to it, right? You were dealing with it first.
Well, I did introduce it to you. I did. Yeah, I did mention it. It came up in my feed, I guess, because I'm always looking into health stuff. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
And so, you brought me onto it, and I said, yes, Suzanne, because I want to be this athlete. I'm an athlete already in my mind.
Yeah. Oh,
I see
I
my
was so excited.
I see myself very healthy, and
Hmm.
we were always active children, right? When we were
Yep.
young, we were very active, and running was one of the things that I did too when I was young. Even our sister, our elder sister Davina, she was into track and field. She even was running at the stadium in Jamaica when we
Yeah.
used to
Primary
support
champ.
her. Yeah, she won
Yeah.
championship. She won some medals for that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
yeah, even my son was in track and field. So, I feel like it's just a part of
Yeah.
our
Yep. Absolutely. Yep, for
Mhm.
sure. And I did a 5K a couple years ago, when I was living in North Carolina. But I had to stop because of some challenges.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, so it feels good to be back, training again to do this.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting us back on track with our health, because
Yes.
listen, I do not want to be on medication the rest of my life, or
I
have
know.
to take any medication at all.
Right. And
So
you've seen me having to take medication for high blood pressure since I've had my kids. And it's definitely has been a part of the bloodline for a long
yeah.
time. High blood pressure. And we have a lot of reason to want to do away with this, whether we call it a curse or this hereditary disease.
Yeah.
A lot of people also suffer with this, not just Black people, but people in general.
Yeah.
But because of the food intake and just what's available to us, we have to be so careful about what we intake. And so, but just even having an active lifestyle can be beneficial to come against high blood pressure and diabetes. Um,
Absolutely. And I
so
just
for me,
wanted to mention, yeah, I just want to mention that when I was doing it years ago, over time, I mean, I had no health issues. I could see how it was helping, and even starting back now, I definitely I'm seeing the results. I'm feeling better. Took us a while to feel that way because we would be tired at the end of the day, but now I feel
yeah,
like our bodies are getting into it.
now I can't wait to get back to the next run. Like I woke up the day in between, I thought I had to run again. And
Yep.
yeah, so I'm getting used to it. But yeah, I would be really ready to go to bed by the time it hit 9 o'clock or so.
Hmm.
But my body has adjusted, so I can't wait. I didn't do my run this morning like I usually like to do early, but I plan to go to a different track after this and do a nice
Oh,
jog after this.
awesome. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
helping that we're doing it together because I'll text you my picture. Oh, I'm done. So I'd like it put some fire under you to do it. And the same when you text me your picture that I did it, I completed my run. I'm like, okay, well now I got to do it. Suzette did hers, so I can't let her outdo me.
I
It's
know.
a health
I
competition.
know.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
company. It's really really been good, and we're in week 4, so it feels good to complete week 4. And I don't know if I'm looking forward to week 5, but because that run is going to increase again. But if I know, I think what makes it more challenging too is running up those hills because where
Oh,
we live is so hilly. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm saying I'm running, but I don't know if you'd call this running. Running over the hill,
man.
it can feel, but once you're done, oh my gosh, it's the best feeling. It's the
Yeah.
best feeling, you
It's
know.
funny because the other day, I think it was Monday, I was running, and I happened sometimes I'll catch Joel Osteen's his podcast, and this time he was talking about running. I was like, this is so perfect, and I should have shared it with you. Talking about just the perseverance and just everything that comes with running, all the things that encourage
Yeah.
me running. Let me tell you, I did that run so well listening to that podcast. So it
Wow.
really helps me. When I put something in my ear as I'm running. But let me tell you, those 4-minute runs, I'll be doing the brisk walk because I'm like, this is killing me.
It's harder though. It's harder going up the hill. So I'll be like near, like maybe like this morning. And I also like you. I listen to something motivational, inspirational. Usually very spiritual because I like to reflect as I'm doing my
Yeah,
run. It's my time with God. I can pray, whatever. And I can also use it as a learning moment to study the word and all that. But
very true.
going up that hill, going down. First of all, let me tell you about this morning, okay? So I was going my usual route, running, and I got to a certain point, and ahead of me I saw some kind of animal. Girl,
Oh no.
I was like, I do not want to find out what that is. I turned back around. I turned back around and went back the way to my house, but I was still following the prompts, run, walk. And so I ran back to my house, but then, no, I walked back to my house because I was on the walk at that point. And because I had just finished the run, it said walk. So I walked back to my house. And then I realized coming back, doubling back again, because I was like, I'm not going to let this stop me from doing my run. I'm just not going to go that way in case I meet up on that animal, whatever it is. I was afraid that it was some what do you call those things? Gosh, I can't remember now. Or oh gosh, hyena or something, or
Oh
one
my.
of those. Not hyena. What is it they call them? They're around here. I don't remember the names
Uh,
of those animals.
Coyote.
Coyote, yeah, coyote. Yeah, I was afraid it was a
Mhm.
coyote. I was like, I do not want to find out. So anyway, I
You
was
know,
coming back. I did not, but it looked big, and I'm like, even if it's a dog, I don't want to know what it is. So turn back around. So I was right, me too. So I mean, I'd be ready to fight if one comes up on me. I'm gonna like let it know who's boss. But anyway, so I was coming back.
you did that for RJ before. I remember.
I did
Oh
that for
man.
RJ before. So I was running back now, but I realized my run was coming. I was like, oh no, this hill. Usually I'm walking up this hill, but because usually in the morning when it's time to start, it's a walk first. So usually when I'm going up this particular hill, which is close to my house, I'm walking, not running.
Oh.
So here I was going back from the house again and had to run. I was like, oh Jesus. I ran to that. When I got to the end, I was like, oh, I was screaming. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. I was like, but I'm going to push. I'm going to push. And then as I got up to the top, I was like, oh boy, the next there are two ways to go. I could go right or left. I wasn't going to go left because that's where I saw the animal before. But going
Okay.
right meant I had to go up more hills. I was like, oh gosh, this is going to kill me. But I
Yeah.
did it. It was very hard, but I did it. I did it. But
Yeah.
sometimes you have to just push.
Yeah, it's so true. I'll even quote the scripture. It's not about doing it quickly, but doing it. Like
Yes.
getting through, persevering through it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Now run with patience.
yes, and
Yes.
patience.
Paul said
So
that.
even
Mm-hmm.
so, I don't get defeated if I don't do it exactly as the thing is, because this is gonna be my first 5K. If I have to
Yeah.
walk it, I'll be. But at the same time, I love when I do produce to the capacity it tells me to do, like to do the runs. But
Yeah.
Suzanne, the last time, I just like you, I kept getting the hill on the run. I'm like, what is this? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be on a plain surface, like no hills. Okay,
Or run
so
down.
today,
Yeah.
yeah, running down is easy. So, but
Yeah.
today I'm on a more less hilly place. I think it's hill. I don't think it's as hilly as my going around my neighborhood. So I'm going to a new place today in the park where they have a track. I think
That's
that'll be
good.
easier on my. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna. new scenery. So it really helps me to do it at a greater capacity today. So I'm looking forward to my run a little later after this.
So I do
So
want to say though that when things happen on the run though, you learn things because I think it encouraged me to having to turn back because I'm realizing that okay, there are times I could just do a loop when I'm running. It doesn't necessarily mean I have to go all around my neighborhood, especially for safety reasons if I don't feel safe. So it made me
mhm.
realize there are different ways that I could do this. Also, so that I don't get caught up in just one route. I can try different routes. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay. So it encouraged me that way to figure out a different way to do it.
Yeah,
Say one route
that,
isn't the best.
that's true. I've done my routes a different ways in my neighborhood too. I've even,
Yeah,
although I haven't gone in a certain section of the neighborhood which I could try, but yeah, I've done it a certain way, either that way or this way to start. But yeah, and or I just if I don't feel like going up that hill, I might just take the easier. But for the most part, I do the same route. But I also did the treadmill a couple times, and it's definitely different. It's not as organic, or you don't take as big a
yeah,
step outside. But it helps
yeah,
me for those days when I just don't want to go outside, and at least I don't have an
yeah.
excuse having the treadmill. I don't have an excuse
Absolutely.
not to do it. So
Yeah,
that's been encouraging to have all the different means to get it done. But look at how parallel running is to our lives, right? Even with deeper church and all the things that we're doing that we have to persevere through, running is such a metaphor for our lives. Like
it really
we're
is.
going goal, right? Our goal, listen, my goal is to get this belly down. And running may not do it at first. But gosh, every morning this week, my belly has been on my mind. Looking at it, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, gosh, golly girl, you've got to get that belly down for real. I hate being so heavy running. I want to be a little lighter.
Oh,
And that's where
yeah, that's how I feel.
the pounds are. That's where the pounds are for real.
Yeah, that's really where my weight goes. Like people will be surprised at how much I weigh because everything goes to that belly girl. That it's like it's like okay, there's another baby, but it's food, you know.
Listen,
That belly. So that's where I'm carrying it too. And it's just not
oh my
healthy. Of course, we've had our challenges, having had cesareans for me, and other things.
yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
challenging. And again, being over 40, I'm not going to use the over 40 excuse, but that is a factor. Um,
listen, I mean,
it is very much a factor. And so,
that's
like
all.
you,
Yeah,
yeah, that metabolism. Mm-hmm.
the way our bodies digest food and process food is different now. It's slower. Body's a little
Yeah, for
slower.
sure. Yeah, I'm ready for
Yeah.
that sugar detox. I am ready to get that poison out my system. Because for the past few weeks, I realized, and I think it's since, I don't know exactly when it started, but you can start again to like things that you shouldn't like after having it for a certain time. So I started having
Yeah.
chocolate again, as which I hadn't really been having that for a season. But starting that again has made me again become addicted to certain sugars, and so I know for me, it's time for a detox, and your body will speak to you and let you know, okay, it's time to put away some things, right?
Yes.
Even when Paul talked about the race, he said you got to get rid of the weight, and the sins that easily besets us, the things that
Yeah.
hinder us from running the race. I want to get rid of that stuff, rid of
Yeah.
them. Um, yeah. So I think that's
Yeah.
where we are right now. Now that we're running, it's like we're taking stock of, okay, what's going on in my body now? And I'm even reflecting on the mental as I'm running. How am I feeling now? It really gets you into really being reflective and cognizant of what's happening in your body and trying to do better.
Absolutely. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah, and I think it's great that we're doing it now when we have so many responsibilities. As you talk about the mental energy,
Yeah.
everything we disperse others. I mean, this week was an example of how much responsibility I had. I had a very stressful week, and I think it became more
Yeah.
stressful because I'm looking forward to vacation
Yeah.
next week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, like I had a full plate. I had so many clients, and then sometimes you have certain clients that think they're the only client I have. Okay, because they be wanting stuff, and they think I have all the time in the world. Okay, and I don't. I let them know straight up. And you gonna pay me for the extra time?
I mean, same here. I have clients and students. So I go
Okay.
through the same thing. I get it. I get
So,
it.
and I have children, so sometimes they don't know my personal life, which I, don't, understand that. But yeah, I have
Yeah.
a life. And this week in particular, I felt the weight of my responsibilities, but I felt more productive because I saw a finish line.
Yeah.
And,
That's so good.
I'm, like Fridays are my day off, but it's the day that I'm doing catching up on stuff, so it doesn't feel like a day off all the time. And then
Hmm.
I work again a few hours on Saturday, and then there's Sunday again when I'm producing again at church. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to the rest. So rest
Yeah.
is so important, a big important part of the journey as well. While we're
Absolutely.
talking about running and persevering, rest, there is a cycle that you have to come back down to the resting point, and then you do it again. So talk
Yeah.
about rest, how important that is for our health.
Woo. I mean, like you, this week I had. It's interesting because it's our first Easter at Deeper Church. So I mean, even
Yes.
wrapping our minds around what that's going to look like and planning for it. Um, I'm over the kids area as well, so I'm getting that in place and also getting volunteers in place. So it's been one of those weeks. I'm like, oh my god, it takes up a lot of my time. Plus, I also work. I'm bivocational, so um, it's rest. I'm realizing as I get older, even as I get even older, I realized that it's super important. And now that we're running, if I don't rest the night before I run, I know it's going to be even more challenging to get that
Yeah.
run in. So especially before I run, I want to make sure I go to bed at a decent time. So I
Yeah.
felt good about the time I went to bed last night, but I'm still working on myself when it comes to getting enough rest. Okay.
Yeah.
And your body
100.
tells you when you're not rested, you'll get sick. Even in my children, like one of them is a lot like me. He knows himself. So I always, trying to encourage him too to get more rest. Um, it's a challenge, and even my
Yeah.
husband, as much as he's going to bed early, like we're all challenged in this area, because you can go to bed early and you're getting up early, but you're still not resting throughout the day. You need time
Yeah.
throughout the day as well, where you're taking breaks. We hardly take breaks. We're
Yeah.
doing so many things. And one of the things that helps us is that, we tell ourselves, like you, okay, it's a season where it's going to end. This season of things being hectic is going to end. And it's good to have something that you're working toward. Like next week is spring break. So we plan on doing something as a family and not doing any work that week. If
Yeah.
we do any work, it's minimal. Because, of course, we're still a new church, so we do have some things we have to do. Um, but it's also having some goals where okay, schedule rest.
Yeah.
Schedule that time because otherwise you'll go crazy.
Mhm. I agree, and I love how you and Rose, you are cognizant of the rest that we need. Because as you said, next week we're conscious about taking the time off to just rest and
Yeah.
do the regular investment of time. But there are things we can't neglect. But um,
Everything.
but even for me, Suzanne, I'm looking forward to the voicemail I'm about to leave my clients and say I'm taking no calls. I love
Yeah.
that.
That's
I'm
the
I'm thankful for what I have. So this is not me complaining, but it's that I
right.
know I have limits, or else I just cannot do it. I have to focus
Yeah.
on take energy I am putting into my work, and now put it into my family and my household for a week. Like I just need to set that time aside where I can relax too,
Yeah.
even if it's just me time as well, because I haven't been doing that much. Because I feel I know when my body needs rest. Like I already start to feel how I know my body is stressed. Is I start to catch a cold. Like it's very slowly coming. So
Yeah.
even me calling myself, okay, it's time to rest. It's really
Yeah.
time.
Feel it in your
So
throat.
let me get through the weekend. Let me get through the weekend. Let me
Mm-hmm.
push up harder for this,
Yeah.
next service. We have more
Yeah.
songs to sing, but the rest is coming. So I
Yeah.
love
I'm looking
that.
forward to it.
We're looking
I
forward
am.
to it.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. But I feel also what helps me to rest is when, or even rest mentally, because you can be physically going, but you're not feeling that chaos in your mind when you plan
Yeah.
things. So when you accomplish one thing at a time, it really feels good. You know, it does
Yeah.
something to you when you take things one step at a time and you see how you're accomplishing it. You just check things off as you go. But what happens is when we don't plan, it's like, oh my God, you feel overwhelmed. That anxiety takes over. You can't really handle it as well because there's no plan in place. But I realize when I can actually see it, I can visualize the day. I can visualize what I'm gonna get done. It
Hmm.
really eases anxiety. Because the older I
Yes.
get, I realize that I do have trouble with. There's some anxiety that creeps in because you're
Oh my
handling,
God.
handling so much. So I'm like having
Yes.
to take stock and be even more conscientious about, okay, my day and what I'm going to get done in that day. You know?
Absolutely. Yes. I
Yeah.
do get anxiety at times when I feel the load,
Hmm.
and that's the pressure. So I'll tell folks at times when I am feeling the pressure, I let them know. Well, right now I may not be able to do this, but give me some time because I have a lot of pressure this week. I had to do that with a couple clients this week because they had paperwork they wanted to get done,
Hmm.
and I said, "Why do I take on this load?" But once I get it done, I feel the release. I feel the
Yeah.
release.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
And
have things on my to-do list that I don't get to for my own personal self.
yeah, and I mean, even finding that person who could take it off your plate. It's still
Hmm.
getting done,
Yeah.
trusting someone else who can do it. So I mean, I've had to do that a couple times for grading. Get someone else to help me. Yes, I may be losing money, but I'm also gaining my sanity. you know, I'm gaining some sanity. Gosh, you can't put a price on sanity and feeling and
Yeah.
being healthy. You just can't put a price on that. So sometimes you just gotta let someone else do it and take it off your plate. So.
Yeah, and it's so important that you know your value because I've done work for clients for free, but I realized I am my own administrator. I'm doing everything myself. So
Yeah,
I had to put a price on the time I'm spending on people's paperwork. And
yeah,
so, yeah, I mean, I encourage every therapist out there who has their business or anyone, contracted as a therapist to put that fee on that time because
yeah,
it is valuable. And you're not getting back that time you spent, producing for someone else. So it's very
yeah.
important. It's not because, you're trying to be expensive or anything or don't care, but you have to care about yourself and know your value,
You
and,
have
and
to.
others have to know your value. And if they don't want me to do the paperwork because they have to pay me, well, that's less work for me. Hallelujah.
How?
So,
Yes.
you
Yeah,
get me?
absolutely. There's a price on time. Like your time is
Yeah,
valuable. Absolutely. Yep.
absolutely.
Very
And
precious.
I wanted to also talk about what you said about sleep. I know my kids too. I have one who she cannot stay up for anything. She's like, I'm going to bed, mommy. It's past my bedtime. She is
Yeah.
in that bed. That's Grace,
Yeah.
right?
That's good.
And she's getting up way early. Okay, so she's a morning person, very very vibrant. And then I have my Aaron loves to be up late. I'm like, go to bed. Him and Noah, they be loving to stay up late. I'm like, what's up? What else you gotta do? Go to bed. Like get some rest and to get up early. But they like to get up late. So that they're not like Grace. I have two extremes, and I'm like that the night owl too from the family I was raised in. But there are
Yeah.
times I love to go to bed early as well. So I have that balance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a continuous. It's a journey. And we
yeah,
keep learning and improving.
Yeah.
And the hope is though that you don't go until you just drop. You learn from it and you keep doing better before your health is compromised.
Amen.
So
So I
yeah.
love how we've touched so far. We've touched on, the importance of being active, spending quality time in exercise, and even considering
Mhm.
that nutrition is very important. I think I dived a lot into the nutritional aspect with my friend Elizabeth, so we didn't really need to go into that deeply, but we talked about the activity of running and how that parallels our walk with God and just the journey we're on with deeper. And then how important rest is, that Sabbath, to
Yeah.
recover so that we can produce even more at the next
Mhm.
cycle. That is so important. Resting is so important. And we do go through a period of cycles in our resting so that we can be well rested and be ready to produce the next day.
Yeah.
So going to bed on time is so important. And I even talk with clients about, their routine and their sleep and wake, how they
Yeah.
operate every day. So it's just important for all your health, for physical and for total health and well being.
Yeah.
And I know we as women, we're starting a new journey. You're going to be doing a podcast, so that spiritual health journey is also important for us. So I wanted you to just give them a snippet of your plans about your podcast that you're working on, and how that coincides with the women at Deeper Church.
As you were talking, as I go into that, I was thinking about Mary and Martha and how, God is not, He's in the work that we do, but He's even more in the rest, and especially that rest where we are also gleaning from Him. And so the
Yeah.
reason Mary had the better part because she was sitting at His feet while she was resting. you know.
Yeah.
Um, and as women, we get so encumbered, and not just women, but since we're dealing with women right now, we get so
Mhm.
encumbered with the cares of this world and the cares of our family and our husbands and everything, and so we forget how important sitting at the feet of Jesus really is. As we rest, it's not about being lazy. It's not about not accomplishing things in that moment, but in that moment we're getting the better part. So it's almost like we're sinning when we're not resting. It's
Wow.
almost like to ask God for forgiveness because He rested from His work, from His labor, and
Yeah.
yes, we have eternal rest. It's not about being religious about it or,
Yeah.
or legalistic about it. Because the Lord, I do believe He understands, but I do feel like He cares. We're going to care about our temple and our body.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we're going to take that time to really rest in Him. It's not just a physical rest, but we're resting our minds and we're meditating on Him while we're doing that. So
Amen.
one of my plans is, as we're talking about rest, is to find the time to rest in those things that God has called me to do.
Mm.
I feel like it's a form of rest when we actually do what God has put in us to do. It's when we find ourselves not doing what God has called us to do that we find ourselves living in anxiety, feeling like we're living in chaos because it's not what we're designed to do. Right? We're
Mm.
doing it out of obligation, right? It doesn't feel good. But when we do this,
Yeah.
when we're actually abiding in Him and we're actually listening to Him and allow Him to like lead us into what He's called us to do, then we're actually feeling we're getting edified as we edify others, and He's getting the glory out of it. So one of the things I'm getting ready to do is this podcast, and it's under the umbrella of Deeper Church, and it'll be called Daily Affirming Women's Network. It'll be a network of women affirming each other in the Lord. And it's also called Dawn because too many people are asleep. And we want, as women, to awaken to purpose. And
Woo.
that's always been something that God has put in my heart, even when we did the WELL, Women Empowered for Life and Leadership, where our vision was to see women walking in their God given purpose. And that hasn't left me, Suzette. And so dissolving
Wow.
that, God was saying, you're going to dissolve this so you can focus on furthering what God has put in you to do, which is you're still empowering women, you're still asking God to empower them so that they can live out their God-given purpose, but you're just doing it through this ministry of Deeper Church and with your husband. And so this is why I could not sit down and not do this, So we're gonna be called Dawn, and the plan is to have different women, especially those who are at Deeper Church, to share their stories, to highlight the work that God has called them to do, including you, Suzette. Yeah. So it's just a matter of time before that begins. And I'm the acronym queen. I think part of that is being a teacher. Yeah, I think it's a great way for people to remember things. It's like a mnemonic device that helps people to remember things. And so I tend to use acronyms. And so a part of Dawn is our SALT, which is Sweet Affirming Ladies Talk. And so that's a segment under Dawn. And so on first Saturdays, or once a month, we're hoping it will be first Saturdays beginning the first week in April. The first Saturday in April, we're going to be meeting as a group of women. We're going to pray, and we're going to share encouragement through studying the Psalms. So we're starting in the Psalms, and I do want to incorporate that into the podcast that we'll be starting. So
exciting!
I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see what God does in the women and through this ministry, and He gets all the glory out of it.
Hallelujah. I love it. I love it. I'm excited about that and what that will produce for the women of the church and the women at large in the kingdom of God. So beautiful, a beautiful desire you have to empower women. It's exciting, and to even have that journey with you. So I actually was excited as we talked about the whole running piece, but I wanted to kind of segue into why we're doing it, not just for health overall. We have had a target date, which is our birthday. April is our month. We are going to be celebrating 43rd birthday on April 23rd. I've been calling myself 43 already. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. It's wow. I can't believe it. 43.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So, and our dad just turned 83.
83, yeah. We're exactly 40 years old, 40 years younger. So he's double our age, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's amazing. And we're still glad to have our parents alive and here,
Yeah.
Excited. But we are looking forward to celebrating our birthday. So we're actually officially having the countdown to our birthday, which will be April 23rd. But before that, we'll be doing our 5K challenge.
On the 20th.
Yeah, the 20th. Yes. So we'll be doing the Run for God 5K together.
Yeah.
Go ahead, talk about it. I think I actually have I think I'm supposed to be getting another t-shirt because I already bought one, but I'm getting a free one. So.
I haven't got one yet. I do need to get my package as well. I haven't, but I plan on getting it. Yeah, we're going to be in Dawson, Georgia on the 20th. And so that will be our way of celebrating our new journey of health, our health journey. And we want to create a lifestyle, just as and it's called Run for God, the organization we're running with, which is very fitting because it's not just about us getting physical health, but spiritual health. And so I feel like it's so significant that we're doing this near our birthday. Birthdays are, I feel like they're a mark, a time to reflect on your life, and where you're going, your past, and how that has gotten you to where you are. And so I feel like this is really gonna strengthen us, not just our sisterhood, but individually, as well as even help others who we're mentoring. And help others to see that, well, if we do this, you can do it too. Because there are going to be challenges when you're running any race. There's, you're going to find that there are challenges just as with the race of life. And so I'm really glad that and that's what's keeping me going, just this idea that
Yeah,
this is like life, um, and we want to make this a
absolutely.
lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, as you were saying, the little song came to me when we were kids.
Yeah. You can do it too. Have you not a
Punching out,
little?
we can't both sing online.
Oh my God, I know we can't both do it. Oh my gosh.
You can do
Kind of
it.
wish I was sitting next to you to do it.
No. Okay. Let me do the
Man,
full line then. You can do it too, punching out a little fella. You can do it too, punching out a little fella. I don't even know what the word is, but it's
yes,
some made up word.
yes, you can do it too, punching at a little fellow. We can do it too, punching at a little fellow. I don't even know what we were saying. Punching at a little fellow. Punching at a little fellow? Like, what does that mean?
I thought they were saying punching out a little fella. I don't know if it was even a word.
I don't even know. It's crazy though. Like, we were saying things as kids, didn't even know what we were saying.
I
But that was
know.
our little ring game.
Yeah, kid
Oh
games.
my
And so,
gosh. Yeah.
but that reminded me of that. But it also reminded me of a song we sang when we were in the little choir as kids.
Yeah.
Um, run the race. What's the name?
Run
On the
the race,
right.
yes, sir.
It's
Run the race of life. There's a prize awaiting you. Lay aside every weight, each besetting sin. Keep the heavenly goal. Yeah, the heavenly goal in view.
witnesses all
Witnessing.
around. We will never fall, turn never fail. Get set race of life.
And be pioneers for Christ.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love
See
that.
you see how I let you do it and you don't let me do it though. That's just how we are as twins, right? He always taking over. That's just how it is.
I let you do it. I did let you do
Well,
it.
like one night, I'm like, she gotta come
No,
back
no,
here.
I let you do it. I was just mouthing the last two parts. I was mouthing it with you since I knew it would buffer.
Okay,
I,
okay,
yeah, I was actually letting you sing it. You'll find out when you rewatch, okay?
okay. Maybe it's the
Yeah. I wasn't. There was
that's
no feedback because I was just I was
okay,
mouthing it. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. But that's just funny. But yeah, songs do come back to us like that, and we'd be harmonizing everything. But because we're in
Mhm.
separate line, we can't harmonize. It
Right,
just,
yeah.
but that's
Bye
okay.
bye.
That's, this was so
Ah,
much fun. This was so much fun.
yeah.
But yes, we are on the countdown for our birthday, and I'm excited to see what the end of this 5K journey will be. But I definitely
Mhm.
want to continue the journey. I would love to do a marathon with you, so we're not going
Oh,
to
that
stop.
is the goal. That is the
Yes,
ultimate goal, a marathon.
yes,
We'll get there if we stick to it.
yes.
Consistency, that's what's key here.
Listen, I was able to go through 5 labors and one almost labor, but listen, we can do
Yeah,
it. And 3
yeah,
pregnancies, you had your 3 babies, I had my 6 babies. So we
yep.
can do a marathon. We have proven it with our bodies.
Yes,
Okay?
yes. This body is amazing that God has made. I'm telling you.
Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you, Jesus.
yeah.
And so I think we have covered all the things I wanted us to cover today. I thank you so much, my beautiful sister, for being with me today.
I'm
And
glad.
um, I will see you later.
See you later. Thanks for having me. Love you, sis.
I love you too.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. It's been so great just meeting with Suzanne. This is my wrap up video. I almost forgot to do one. And I love to do one because I like to leave you with, my little message at the end. When I replayed the video and I looked at what the interview between me and my sister, the conversation between us, It really strengthened me. I went out and did my run afterwards, and it was quite a challenge. I didn't realize that I was really getting sick, like I mentioned on the podcast. Like, it's the countdown towards vacation, and I feel like my body is like, you cannot push yourself any longer. So I had to cancel my sessions for tomorrow because I need to nurse myself to full health for Sunday. Listen, it's a big day for us, right? Sunday is Resurrection Sunday, and I have to be there in full swing, right? Doing what God has called me to do. So I am just nursing myself to health so I can be prepared for that and take that lovely rest for the week. So I'm looking forward to that. But it was great to just speak about rest and just what we're embarking on as sisters in the kingdom, not just spiritually, but physically, taking care of our bodies, because it is the temple of the living God. And I want to encourage you to do the same. And this is one way that I stay in the will of God. I don't wake up feeling good if I'm not doing what he's called me to do, or if he's told me to eat properly and I'm not doing that. So I'm a constant work in progress, okay? So I'm really thankful for our time together. I had a lot of fun laughing at our little songs that we remembered. And yes, she was right. She did give me space to sing. Oh my gosh, the sibling stuff. Yeah, but yeah, me and my sister, we're just like that. And I'm just really grateful for both my sisters, my twin sister and my older sister, Davina. I'm really grateful for who God has placed around me in this season. So I pray you enjoy all that was spoken today, that you glean from what we spoke. And thank you again to all my subscribers. And don't forget to share with your friends if you really find something out of the words that we speak together here, the testimonies that I shared. Somebody else needs it just as much as you have needed it. So please share, please like, please subscribe. And thank you once again for watching. God bless you. And remember that no matter what you're going through, no matter the circumstances you're facing today, remember to stay married to his will. God bless you.